Welcome everybody, welcome to the first YouTube video on my channel. Today we have the Volvo XC60 T6 Recharge. What a first car to start with on this channel, honestly. This car is absolutely incredible. But today I'm basically going to show you the average user's point of view on what it's like to drive this vehicle. I'm going to be taking it around town, taking it on some country lanes. So let's hop in. So right now, as you can see, 360 camera is on. You can switch between all these separate views. So you can see behind, in front, and also sides. Now, just to begin with, the quality of the cameras is very, very, very good. The only problem is, unlike a Mercedes, is the cameras, they don't tuck away under the badge. So if any rain, snow, mud, anything gets on the cameras, as you can see, there's marks on the cameras and it can definitely interfere with the visibility. Outside of that, the camera's absolutely fantastic. We have a wireless charging pad, lots of space under here. Here is usually where you plug in your phone if you want Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But being completely honest, the Google system in this car is miles ahead of a lot of other vehicles. Like, the Google system in here is so simple to use. I don't even use Apple CarPlay anymore. You have Spotify downloaded here. You can play through all your music, you can log in, etc., etc. You can get all your playlists. You've got YouTube, you've also got Amazon Prime, you can get something called a Vivaldi browser, which basically allows you to watch Netflix in the car as well, because you can't actually get Netflix. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely room for improvement. There could definitely be a lot more apps on the Play Store. It's not as advanced as something like Tesla, for example, where you can get, I know, tons more apps. You've got the seat buttons here, so if you have different drivers driving the car, one of you can be number one, one of you can be number two, and you can set it up that way to get into your perfect driving position. This car is the plus spec, so it's middle spec, not fully top spec, still an absolutely fantastic car. So enough with the talking, let's go on a drive. As you can see, some beautiful views out here, beautiful. You've got the driver's display in front of you with the maps, of course, with Google Maps. The best thing about Google Maps is that it tends to be up to date all the time. So if there's new businesses in the area, as long as it's on Google Maps, you're fine. You know, you just say, hey Google, navigate me to Kingston.
Navigating to Kingston upon Thames.
And right away, it's throwing it into the maps and you're good to go. Super, super, super easy. Probably one of the easiest systems I've ever used. There's a lot of manufacturers, sometimes you drive their cars, the maps aren't always up to date, the maps take you down weird routes, it doesn't always have the right speed limits, but Google seems to have it pretty bang on. Right now, this car has no charge in it whatsoever, none. People that buy these plug-in hybrids, they tend to have home chargers. You won't really find many people that buy a plug-in hybrid that don't have a home charger. I'm one of those people that doesn't have a home charger, so right now, it's got no charge in it. We're returning about 33 miles per gallon. That's a mixture of driving, so on the main roads, country roads, motorways, town driving. On average, I'm getting 33 miles per gallon. That'd be nice to see. Ooh, blimey. Try not to hit another car. As you can see, the car's quite big. Turning circles not always the best. But in terms of the ride of this car, it's very, very, very comfortable. You can see why people would love to have these as their daily drivers. Now, it doesn't have air suspension, which you can actually get on these models. And honestly, if you have the money for it, I would definitely say to go ahead and get that air suspension. It's definitely very easy to not be fully focused in this car just because of how comfortable it is. And when you pair it with the driving systems that are in this car, so the adaptive cruise control, the lane keep assist, it becomes effortless. Yeah, here we have a straight. Let's give you an example. Foot down, power kicks in, and it just keeps pulling. Just like that. And that is on no charge whatsoever, just purely petrol power. Now, when you brake in these vehicles, it has regenerative braking, meaning that the battery is charging itself as you're braking. So what it does is it uses the power from the regenerative braking and pairs it with the petrol engine to put down the power all at once. Now, in terms of the delivery of that power, it's not quite the same as electric. So with electric, obviously you get the instant acceleration. But with a plug-in hybrid, you get a small bit of instant acceleration and what feels like turbo lag for when the petrol engine kicks in, and that's when all the power joins together. So the turbo lag isn't as much as a traditional petrol diesel car, but it's not as instant as an electric car. Let's ignore Google Maps, let's go left. Nothing coming. Okay, here we go again. Just like that, at 50. Yeah, this car is quick, and this is only the T6. I can't imagine what it'd be like to drive the T8. 450 horsepower in that thing versus 350 in this. And honestly, as someone that's come from driven just the purely petrol 250 horsepower version, that is more than enough. These are a little bit excessive. It's just so comfortable at the same time. It's got all the features you need. You've got the panoramic sunroof, you got the Google integration, comfortable seats, spacious. Everything's just in the right place. Everything's very ergonomic. The only thing that could be improved on this would be to bring back the physical dials for the air conditioning. Like, this is a bit of a faff when you're driving along. Same thing with like heated seats, just bring back the buttons. I mean, they've got the buttons for the demister on the front and the rear. Now, the Harman Kardon sound system is a very, very good sound system. It is not top of the range that you can get in these vehicles. So you can get the Bowers & Wilkins, which is honestly something else. That sound system is like being in the studio with the artist whilst they're singing to you live. Harman Kardon is still a very good system, but not quite up there. And I'd say if you can upgrade to it, if you can afford it, then absolutely go for it. Hey Google, tell me something I don't know.
Here's one. According to the BBC, cheetahs can accelerate to 70 miles per hour in only 3 seconds. That's faster than most sports cars.
Damn. This car's not quite as fast as a cheetah then. Okay. I don't think you're going to be really outrunning any cheetahs in the hills of Surrey in this thing. Right, let's put cruise control on. So this is actually the adaptive cruise control. So we'll see. I'm coming up to this car in front of us at a roundabout. Let's see how it acts and if I need to kick it in. So slowing down, not touching the accelerator at all. Slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Same, same, same. And that's it. Okay, it has stopped a little bit earlier than I'd like. And if you stop for too long, then it actually disengages the adaptive cruise control. So you will have to start driving by yourself again. But where you're really going to be using that is on the motorway. Using it on the smaller roads, probably not so much. Just like that, 0 to 70. Whew. So once you have adaptive cruise on, these little tabs here, you can use to decide just how much space you want to keep from the car in front. So if I want to get even closer to the car in front, then you will bring these down. And if you want to make sure you maintain as much distance as possible, then you use the highest option. Also, if you press right, the adaptive steering kicks in. So I can pull this to the left and the right, still take control, but the car is actually steering a lot more than myself. Now don't get me wrong, you can't just take your hands off the wheel like this and let it drive for you for hours on end. As you can see, it's taking that bend quite nicely. You do have to keep your hands on the steering wheel, obviously. Driving at night on the motorway, you're feeling lazy, then that's probably the option for you. But personally, I'm not a big fan and I keep it switched off. So I mentioned a lot about the sound system. Why not give it a go? Let's see if we can find some non-copyright music. NCS, oh my god, that is a throwback from YouTube. Oh my god. So yeah, you can see it's pretty decent. Well, that was quite a dramatic cut off there. But yeah, decent sound system. Much better than Much better than a lot of cars I've been in. So it's not just Google Maps that the Google system helps with when you're using the voice control. It also can do things related to the car. So you can go, hey Google, turn on my heated steering wheel.
All right, turning on the steering wheel heater.
Yeah, it's pretty swanky. If you're on a date, watch this. Hey Google, turn on the passenger heated seat.
Okay, turning on the seat heater for the front passenger.
And there you have it. Right, tell you what we need to do. We need to actually try out some of the features like the sunroof. So the sunroof will go back, but it doesn't go all the way back. It actually, no need to indicate that. If you press it again, just by swiping here, you'll go back even further. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive further into town and I'm going to show you what this is like to park. So as well, if it's too sunny outside and you don't like the sun, or maybe you're bald and you don't want to get sunburnt, you can actually bring this forward again. It's taking its time, but you'll see in a second. You get this lovely sunshade. Touch it ever so slightly. Oh. So yeah, as you can see, you can actually stop it. You can have it just tilted open like that. So you do let a little bit of air in, but you don't have the sunshade, sorry, you don't have the sunroof all the way back. Let's take this car into the car park. And I can do, oh my God, the car park is full. You can do some little maneuvers. Feels like I'm on a driving test right now. All right, let's get in here. Through the barriers. No problems. Let's see if we can find a spot. Pull in here. Little reverse park maneuver. Okay, so slap it in reverse. First thing you'll see, 360 cameras pop up. Okay, you'll see idiots walk behind you as well. 360 cameras pop up. And what you can actually do midway through is you can tap it and set it to the rear camera. So as you can see, with the guidelines, it's pretty good. They don't always extend all the way out, which is a bit annoying. But yeah. And reverse. There we go. So as you can see, the dirt on the camera is really blurring up the actual frame, which is very annoying. Slap it back on 360 and you can see just how well I have parked. Please, in the comment section, comment 10 out of 10, because that's some 10/10 parking right there. Yeah. And there you go. You don't have 3D view in the sense that you can drag the camera around and see what the car looks like from the outside, like crazy CGI effects, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of all you really need. That with the parking sensors. Also, if you get too close to something behind you, the Volvo system will kick in. Trust me. You will know when it's kicked in because you'll feel like you've smashed into the car behind you. You'll get out, take a look, and realize that you're still like 10 feet away from the car. That is Volvo safety systems for you. It can be a bit annoying at times, but at least you're not going to damage your 60 grand car. So there's that. Walking through the menu, what else do you really have? There's Waze. Waze is very bad on the Android system they've got on here. It's really not optimized. It's laggy, it's slow, it crashes. If you are a Waze user, I would definitely say to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But in all honesty, Google Maps is all you really need. And now I've been made aware that on Google you can do stuff like mark speed cameras and mark accidents, etc., etc. People don't do it as much as they do on Waze because I think that is the sole reason why people have Waze. But there you go. Google is getting better and better every day, so I'll just stick with that. So we're going to put the car into park, brake on. This A button here is like the auto hold. So if you're on a hill and you put this on, and you take your foot off the brake, the car won't roll back. It will hold for a little bit before you take off, which can be handy. If you're someone that, I don't know if you ever remember when you first take your driving test and you're in a manual car and you're on a hill and you've got to do a hill start and your worst fear is taking your foot off that clutch, rolling back into the car behind you. Well, that is what that button does. That button protects you from doing that. So yeah, if you're a newish driver, this might be the one for you. In terms of space in the back, I know I'm showing you the POV of the driver, but yeah, more than enough space for pretty much everyone. There is a big center console in the middle, but you can put your feet either side, so it's not too bad. You have rear heated seats in the back for the left and the right. You have, let me pull it from here, a nice armrest with cup holders and also a ski hatch. So if you carry skis or golf clubs or anything like that, that is also a plus.